What is going on? My name is Spencer O'Gallagher. Welcome back to the channel. I have a question for you. This is always fun. My question is, do you know what you're willing to die for? Gun to your head. Ooh, okay, now I'm really polarizing. Gun to your head. Do you know what you're willing to die for? Right here, right now. Boom, close your eyes. Ah, it's done. Do you know, yes or no? Hell yes, no hesitation, what it is that you're willing to die for? Now let's back up. Let's back up. Let's make this a little more comfortable. I'm not armed right now. You're safe. We're in a good place. Don't worry. I've got you. Everyone on my channel, you're in a safe place. We're just working together. Why I'm bringing this up is because last night I had the amazing privilege to be able to audit and sit in on a group coaching call with some mentors running the call who I really respect, really admire, and I'd love to one day be a teacher just as strong and powerful as they are, you know, with as much wisdom and grace and whatever. I don't have to go on about it, but you get the point. I got a chance to audit a group coaching call where the clients present on call are honestly, they're paying like some top dollar. They're paying like $2,000-$3,000, I'm not even too sure, dollars to be in the coaching group. And here I am auditing this call and like listening to the incredible questions that people are asking, listening to the incredible answers, the amazing space being held, just the whole thing. I'm like, thumbs up, I'm taking mental notes. But as I'm in this call auditing, and this will go into like, again, the question of, do you know what you're willing to die for? As I'm listening and auditing the space on a Zoom, someone, a guy probably around my age, very good looking guy, well-spoken, like really cool guy. This is the kind of guy, like if I saw him out on the street, I'd be like, that guy, like, first of all, he gets laid, he's got good grades, he's probably got a good salary, like everything looks good for him. That's my first impression on Zoom. But then this guy, he speaks up in the group, and keep in mind, he paid like $3K, here he is, he's on this group, he took initiative to get himself in the group, pay the money, be in there, he wants to learn, but for what? He gets on the Q&A portion of the call. He asks his question to the mentor, the leader who's running the call, someone with tremendous life experience. And this guy asks the question, hey, do you have any techniques for me to, you know, better remember my values at any given moment? Like my principles, you know, the things that matter to me. Do you have any techniques for me to make sure like that's always like top of mind so that I can make sure I don't deviate from the path? I'm always in line with that path. And hey, at this moment, I started to kind of like disassociate from the call because it's these interesting questions that get my brain just rattled. And suddenly I just started like dreaming off and like thinking like, what did he just ask? Like there's so much there to unpack, but I'm just on the call auditing. So I have to shut my mouth. And here I am now just kind of whipping out my camera, and I wanted to like think through his question with you. And really that's why in starting this call, the first thing I asked is, do you know what it is that you're willing to die for? It's a kind of intense question. But I feel like the people who watch my videos, they're kind of like intense weirdos like me. So this is our safe space. Do you know what it is you're willing to die for? Because when this guy on the Zoom call, you know, paying $3,000, that kind of thing, when this guy on the Zoom call asked this question to his mentor, and then I was auditing, when he asked this, right away, my brain was just like, my compass, my value system was just like, what? How could you even have to ask such a question? Like what, you need a technique for your values to stick, to make sure it's top of mind so that when you're going about the world, you don't deviate from that? That's insane. To me, that's the antithesis of what it is to have a value system. Here's how I see it. The value system, your values, like the things that matter to you, the things that you have great reverence and respect for, you know, the kind of person you work yourself out to be. You take time to watch videos like this and you're building a sense of character, a sense of purpose. You're making yourself an informed individual. You're a critical thinker. You know, your value system is the basis for that. Like and now I'm gonna like be a little whiz kid as if I know what I'm talking about. I don't, but like a compass, I don't even, like I've used compasses before for sure, like once. Okay, a compass, like how is that little thing working? I don't know. Someone drop in the comments and let me know. But a compass, it's always finding its true north. The compass is always finding its true north. I think that's how it works, right? Again, we're speaking off the cuff here, so just kind of work with me as I'm thinking through this. But when I think of your value system, personally as like an agent in this world, you know, someone who's capable of provoking change in this world, someone who's capable of informing themselves of you know, situation, circumstance happening in this world, someone who's capable of so much, you know, and I'm not saying, oh, me, I'm capable, I'm saying you, all of us, an agent in this world. The way I've always felt about a value system is your value system is whatever that thing is, it's always finding your true north and you feel it. Because I'm not going to ever claim to be perfect, because that would be a BS lie, and I don't like to do that. I'm not even going to say I never do that. I just don't like to do that. And I don't like to do that for this exact reason, because the compass, even if you're not acting perfectly in line with your value system, the way I've always felt is like, even when I start to compromise my own value system, which is not something I like to do, and I don't like to do it because the value system itself is always pulling me towards my true north. So when I deviate from the path, that shit, it's like I'm getting pulled apart. It's like I'm getting ripped apart. And yes, you'll notice I'm putting a focus on my body because that's where I feel it. That's where I've made myself the most sensitive. And then this is actually what it means to, if I were to answer that guy's question, if you want to make remembering your value system and like your morals and your principles, if you want to make that effortless, find a compelling value system. Find a compelling story to attach yourself to. Make your life meaningful. If you're going to pay, for instance, $3,000 to join a coaching group, I would really want to interrogate what made you even pull the trigger on that. We spend a lot of our lives growing up being pulled in different directions. We've got parents, we've got friends, peer groups, we've got school, the educational system, we have media, all kinds of directions. You're always kind of like being pulled around. So I feel like if you just spend most of your life growing up like this, and then you kind of get to the point where I guess this guy was last night on the Zoom call asking this question where he just seemed like such a great guy. My first impression was just like, this guy's solid. And then when he asked that question, I'm like, of course he's still solid. He's still a great guy. But in my mind, I'm like, dude, how have you not figured this out already? How are you in this group? How did you choose to pay $3,000 to be in this group and not even like understand the true north behind that decision? Are you just in this group waiting for someone to tell you what to do? I don't like that. I don't like that. I just don't think that's the best way to go about this world. The best way is to get real crystal clear on what it is that you'd be willing to die for. I'm still alive, so I can't prove that I cannot prove that I actually have this. I cannot prove that I have the ability to say like, oh, I was willing to die for that, because I'm still alive. So again, always question the people you're listening to on the internet, question their authority. Am I even legit? You have no idea. Be careful with that. But again, the way I see it is you at least want to get crystal clear. Imagine in your body. This is why I think I have the sensations in my gut, because I go as far as like, I visualize a gun to my head and I start putting myself in situations where it's like, if you had to choose this or this, what would you do? And it's like, you'll feel the gut response. And I think that's the true north, that here I am at 26 years old, that I've always just been working on getting it a little clearer and clearer and clearer. And the clarity is trusting that I should listen. I should obey the true north. Because when I deviate from the path, when I want to go this way, well, when my true north wants to go this way and I'm trying to go this way, gosh, I don't know. That's like weeks and weeks until I figure out all this resistance. It's tearing me apart. It's awful. And really all I have to do is get myself back in line with what I know is right. No BS, no one telling me, oh, this is what is good. This is a good life. This is what you should do. It's really taking the time to understand, like, you are an individual. You are an agent in this world, an agent of change. You are someone who can inform themselves. You are someone who could do great things with your time on this earth. That's how I feel about myself. That's why I make these videos. I don't even expect these videos to resonate with like lots of people. Typically, I think my videos get a few hundred views. Okay, but I make it for the few hundred people. The few hundred people who resonate with this stuff, I'm like, let's be these crazy people. Let's be these crazy people who we take action in the world, positive action for things that resonate with our value system, with our true north. Gun to our head, we know what's right. Because we are informed. Because we've challenged our beliefs. We've made ourselves uncomfortable. We take responsibility. And by the way, if you're watching this and you're someone who's like, maybe you've come across my video because you come from like the dating community. You want to know some attraction techniques or flirting techniques. If you don't think that this true north value system isn't literally, like I'm like, I gotta hold on to my table here, like the sexiest thing in the entire world. Woo! You've been looking at the wrong advice online, my friend. Because a lot of my content that I think people have clicked with in the past about like the attraction techniques and the flirting and stuff like that, like when I talk about, for instance, assume attraction, I have a great video on that already. You must check this out if you have not yet. Assuming attraction. But quickly on that, as it relates to the value system, where do you think the power of assuming attraction comes from? You don't, like when I walk in a room and I'm like, Spencer's arrived, like, here we go. It's this full assumption of like, I know my worth, I know I'm attractive. Like, it's just like something I have for myself. I'm not waiting for anyone else to tell me, oh, you're a cool person. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care because I know, but I know because I have a refined value system. I know because gun to my head, I know yes or no what I'm doing in this world. And listen, hey, if I'm ever uncertain, if I'm ever in the ambiguity and fear, which absolutely happens quite often, the existential crisis of what am I doing? That's coming from a place in my value system as well. That's coming from a place of those are the moments I sit down and I go into the pain and confusion, because as an agent in this world, as a person in this world, I feel like that's my responsibility as well, is to get myself real comfortable with those moments. No blinking, really looking fear in the eyes and my uncertainty in the eyes and questioning everything. That's where the stuff comes from. That's how you find your true north. That's how you make it effortless to remember these things. I don't remember, remember. How are you why do you need to remember your value system? Remember these things that are important to you. It's effortless. It should be right here at all times. It's like a loaded, I gotta stop saying that. I'm gonna get, if this is on the internet, people are gonna like just bury this. But that's my point, is just, it should be absolutely certain because you've taken the time to do the work to lean in. And again, bonus points. This is what makes you super duper hot. Thank you for watching. We'll stop there. If you would like to extend this conversation, chat with me. But again, bring me a compelling question. Bring me something amazing. Give me something of worthy juice. I invite you to find me on Instagram at Spencer O'Gallagher. Really happy to engage in the DMs, but it's gotta be good. I'll see you there.